3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now with the play clock almost gone, Sean McDermott's going to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
My 40. You gonna see me at 52. You gonna go.
From the gun, it's Allen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
Good job, D. Good job.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D.
Now it's Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jerry Hughes make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simple.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. From the corner, Jimmy Smith blitzes for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Take the edge. Come. Kill.
Now Allen. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, Charles, you just said it a bit ago that the screen might work. Sure enough, you were right.
You know how it works, partner. You throw enough stuff up on the board, eventually something sticks.
Give yourself a little bit of credit.
Okay, one thing did.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 15. A big play here for Buffalo. 46 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Ravens 7-yard line.
48. Brown 80. That's in. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check 19. Oh, here we go. Oh. 56. Look out.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Bills, first down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Allen. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
6-0 our score after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. From the 41, Jackson looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and now it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that
one. They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Here we go. To the unending. You're not ready. You're not ready. Ready, go.
On third down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards, a 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards.
Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Defense wins championships, man.
Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now T.J. Yeldon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 30.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Allen now throwing again. This will be caught just inside the 10. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyler Kroft, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd down.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's caught off the deflection. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Allen, and he's going to go down again. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Matt Milano able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating for the gun, Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tim Williams in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Tyler Croft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returning it is Moore. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word. But if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
And a Raven first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Chubb running right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Lorenzo Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Forced out to his Allen hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And now look at him go. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Tucker now to add the point after. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Makes the score, Ravens 23, Bills 7.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, it's Allen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's more on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Jackson, option right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain there of 21 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And an alley to run. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
For the double. 49, guys. Mike, 49. I'm coming.
Finds Roberts left side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, Allen. He'll have a first down past the 40, and that's complete to Croft, as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Allen now on first down. Now and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. To try again after the sack. Allen. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
A game of only a yard. It's 4th down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And able to find John Brown. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on first down is Allen. It's for his running back, McCoy. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Allen hands off to McCoy, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Here's Allen. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Anthony Averett picks it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, shut up. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hey, alert 3. You won't take.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about